Welcome back to Cornucopia of Thought. Today, we are going to be going over a couple um, things that in my journal for my literature class. The first of which, going all the way back to, I think, our second journal um, entry, and that being, what is the definition of the American dream? What is the American dream? Because I'm going to be connecting all of my other videos, upcoming videos, with the American dream. Going to connect all the journal things with the American dream because they all have something to do with the American dream. So, the American dream. Originally, when I first came into this, I thought something along the lines of, peace, happiness, prosperity, pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. I thought it was something specific. I'm seeing now that it is a very broad and fraught subject. So I'm going to come up with the definition that I think best suits what the all round, the full fledged idea of the American dream is. Now, I think what's interesting about the American dream is how many different ways you can approach it. You can approach it as like you have certain rights that are inalienable, big fancy word, which I actually don't know the definition of, but I'm going to use it anyway. We have rights. We have things like freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom to practice religion, separation of church and state. All these things that are meant to protect us, and that contributes to our ideas as a nation. The social aspect of that idea of a nation, of are we a nation, what qualifies ourselves as a nation, I think is a big identity because we, as Americans, believe we are a nation. And maybe that's something in itself. Maybe the belief that we're in a nation can contribute to the nationality, used in a different sense than like a nationality. I think another thing is kind of like this idea of like, oh, suck it up, buttercup. Like, breathe in, hold your breath, dive into this whole mess that we have here. I think the really big, outstanding thing is freedom, as I stated before, but specifically the feeling of freedom. And then also, like, this Christian idea of laugh when others laugh and cry when others cry. And maybe we can laugh when others cry. It's a little twisted. Also, living your best life, I think, is a very capitalist but pretty American dreamy type dream. Um, and we also, yeah, that's what I think a good definition of the American dream is. And it's connected to itself because it's the definition of the American dream. So that makes sense, right? So another thing you have to keep in mind with all these videos is that I am very biased. I believe what I say. So if I say something and you're like, feel free to be like, because it's all part of the master plan in that sense. Um, he's going on my YouTube channel now. All right. American Dream definition. Also, what to look forward to in the next couple episodes. This is a very short kind of intro thing. Um, we're going to be talking about the lottery. Good Man is Hard to Find, To Build a Fire, Huckleberry Finn, and Scarlet Letter in several of our presentations. I'm also going to be connecting at the end of each video, connecting my definition of the American dream with that definition that I just gave. So, freedom, both the feeling of and the freedoms that we've been given, sucking it up, breathing in, being like, we can do this, we have to do this. This idea of American humor where we kind of make fun of serious situations. Living the best life as the more secular idea. And the idea of how the dream relates to the nation. Thank you. Please consider liking and subscribing and sharing this video if you so desire. It's free and it helps out a ton. I feel like a real proper YouTuber when I say that. Like I get like a thrill from being like, like and subscribe. It's not weird, I swear. Bye.